Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about taking a more passive approach or a more aggressive approach to things in your life. Wanted to talk about this one because I feel like there's a lot of mixed messages out there, and this is one of those subjects that I think there's a lot of mixed messages about. Because on the one hand, right, it feels like there are people who promote having more passive lives in the sense that, it's like sometimes it's like things just aren't meant for you. You should let it go, you know? What's meant for you is meant for you. It this is just not your time yet. There's phrases like that. But then I feel like you hear the opposite. And it's like you have to go for what you want. You can't just sit around and expect things to happen for you. You have to make things happen, right? Even, I mean, I guess you could say, like, people will say, like, well, you have to put yourself in position, which I guess is somewhere in the middle because in a sense you're doing something by putting yourself in a position, but then in a way you're doing nothing because you're just positioning yourself. So at that point it's like you're setting yourself up. So I don't know, maybe you could argue that that's the way to go, right? You should put yourself in position in life, because in that way you're essentially doing everything that you can in order to get the results you want. But whether or not they actually happen for you, that's left up to chance. I guess that's one way to look at things. But at the same time, I wonder, I mean, is that the way to go? Should you just go through your life putting yourself in position? Because, I mean, I guess if you go the route of, you know, uh, it just wasn't meant for me. I mean, I guess it is a blend because if you're too passive, then I guess you can't expect things to happen. But then on the other hand, if you're too aggressive or assertive or, whatever you want to call it, then you could say that you're trying to force things. But I guess at the end of the day, it's sort of like you do as much as you can until you don't have control over the situation anymore. I I guess. I don't know. And that's why I'm bringing this up and asking the question. So, if anyone listening has a response to this as far as how you feel, with, do you think that you should take a more passive approach to life, a more aggressive one, or somewhere in the middle where essentially you just put yourself in position? Because, sometimes it, I don't know, it feels like it hurts when you try to be more aggressive in your life, right? You try to be more, uh take charge and make things happen. So you put the work in, you work really hard, and then you don't get the results, right? Like that, it feels bad because it feels like, well, I did all of this work, I did all of this. Why couldn't I get what I wanted? But then on the other hand, if you sit back and you say, well, if it's meant for me, then it's going to happen. Then if nothing happens, there's always the thing of, it could always be used against you. Well, what did you expect to happen? You didn't do anything. One is like you did too much, the other is like you did too little. And it's also like, how do you know when you're doing too much? If you do try to be more take charge, how do you Like, at what point is it like, okay, this is enough, I need to fall back? So, I don't know. Again, just curious if anyone has a response to this, let me know. But I do think those are two interesting perspectives on this. Honestly, as I was talking, I thought about that positioning thing and it kind of made me pause. So it it kind of derailed my argument a little bit more than I expected, cuz now I feel like maybe that's the way to go, but maybe you don't think so. Or maybe you notice that people tend to go in a certain way and you feel like they should or shouldn't. I don't know. Let me know if you feel like it. Thanks for tuning in and hope to catch you in the next one.